Yooralla has been supporting people with disability in Victoria for 100 years. Here's a short summary about our history. Yooralla began in 1918 when Evangeline Island, also known as Sister Faith, found a child with disability penned inside a chicken coop while her parents were at work. Moved by the situation, Miss Island established Victoria's first free kindergarten for children with disability in Melbourne. During the 20s and 30s, Yooralla expanded to become a school for children with physical disabilities. Demand continued throughout that time, particularly due to outbreaks of polio. Yooralla continued through the Great Depression thanks to the generosity of Victorians and survived on donations alone until 1938. In 1942, during World War II, the school was relocated to Macedon because of fear of bombings. After the war, Yooralla purchased a large homestead in Balwyn and converted it into accommodation and a school. In 1959, the first Yooralla telethon began on Channel 9. The telethon ran for 20 years, contributing greatly to expanding Yooralla's services and infrastructure. During the 1960s and 70s, Yooralla expanded its services to provide accommodation, employment and other support services such as assistance with daily living and recreation. Yooralla also initiated 2 special schools in Melbourne. In 1962, the Balwyn Special School, today known as Belmore School, opened, with Yooralla providing therapy, personal care and accommodation support to students. In 1976, Yooralla worked with the Victorian Government to build the Glenroy Special School and Training Centre, where Yooralla also provided therapy support to students. In 1977, the organisation merged with the Victorian Society for Crippled Children and Adults to become the Yooralla Society of Victoria, expanding its support for all people with disability. Also in 1977, Yooralla opened Australia's first independent living centre, which provides information and advice about the latest technology and equipment for people with disability, their carers and therapists such as physiotherapists and speech pathologists. During this time, there was a move away from a medical model of support towards a social model and inclusion. In the 90s, Yooralla changed its accommodation model, with customers moving into newly built, community-based residential housing. In 1991, Yooralla released its memorable advertisement.
He can't walk or stand the way I do,
but he gets around. Yooralla showed him how to. Yooralla's people helping people achieve. Helping people. Yooralla's people helping people achieve.
In 2007, Yooralla opened a new accommodation facility in Thornbury, specifically for people who are dependent on mechanical ventilators requiring high-level 24-hour support. It is the only facility of its kind in Australia. At the same time, Yooralla played a pivotal role in lobbying for the National Disability Insurance Scheme, known as the NDIS. Yooralla was one of the major supporters of the Every Australian Counts campaign, which in 2011 successfully lobbied for the NDIS. In 2013, it was a Yooralla site that the Victorian Premier, Dr Denis Napthine, signed Victoria up to the NDIS with Prime Minister Julia Gillard. The following year, Yooralla commenced supporting NDIS participants in the NDIS trial site of Barwon. Today, Yooralla has a range of services, including providing support in the community and in the home, accommodation, respite, job skills and employment pathways, support coordination, communication and assistive technology, therapy and community hubs. Yooralla is proud of its 100-year history and looks forward to continuing to support people with disability, their families and carers to live the life they choose.